It is very fine. It is very, very okay to be, opinionated, to have a very strong set of values and standards and expectations and belief, you know, in yourself. And, you know, it is very okay to have this kind of, these core values, all right? Because that's what make you a person of integrity, and that is what also make you um that in itself even protects you from a lot of things that could come your way, right? Which means that when you meet people who don't have the same value systems as you, or who don't uh, correspond to your strong set of values, all right, you automatically what profile them, all right, as maybe not to trust list, or maybe you sometimes you simply just try to avoid them. You don't just want to deal with them, or you may try to, engage with them, but at a very minimal, level. You don't try to really engage deeply with these people, out of fear sometimes, and also because you feel like they don't have maybe anything good to offer, or their way of thinking, or their way, it could be their way of life or their belief system, and everything about them doesn't tally with yours, so you simply what discard them. And that is a big mistake to make in life. Greetings to you, and welcome to Meaningful Levity. I hope you are doing well. Today I will be sharing with you a life lesson that, I had to learn the hard way, and I actually wish I knew this earlier in my life, right? No regrets and no remorse, right? Because um, in life, you just have to make mistakes and learn, right? You can never get it right all the time. And it's through learning that you get to what? To become better, right? So, but this is a bitter lesson that I had to learn at some point. And today I was just meditating, if I may say. It just came through my mind, and I was like, why not share it with you? It is very fine. It is very, very okay to be, opinionated, to have a very strong set of values and standards and expectations and belief, you know, in yourself. And, you know, it is very okay to have this kind of, these core values, all right? Because that's what make you a person of integrity, and that is what also make you um that in itself even protects you from a lot of things that could come your way, right? Which means that when you meet people who don't have the same value systems as you, or who don't uh, correspond to your strong set of values, all right, you automatically what profile them, all right, as maybe not to trust list, or maybe you sometimes you simply just try to avoid them. You don't just want to deal with them, or you may try to, engage with them, but at a very minimal, level. You don't try to really engage deeply with these people, out of fear sometimes, and also because you feel like they don't have maybe anything good to offer, or their way of thinking, or their way, it could be their way of life or their belief system, and everything about them doesn't tally with yours, so you simply what discard them. And that is a big mistake to make in life. So I had to actually learn it the hard way, because um I am somebody that is naturally somebody that is very opinionated, right? And it's almost like I have my definition of everything, and I have my own code of life, and I have my own philosophy of life. And that is very good. I'm not saying that is bad, because in this life, if you don't actually have a sense of direction, if you don't, if you're not able to judge. So sometimes people say, what, don't judge, because judgment, no one should judge, because, but in reality, you should actually judge, because if if you cannot judge, or if you decide not to judge, if you cannot judge, then it means that your brain is not working, right? Because the only way you can differentiate between what is good or bad for you is if you're able to make what, a, a clear judgment, all right, and a meaningful judgment of the different things that you come across, or the different people that you encounter, right? um However, you know being too judgmental, I think that is what is bad, because if you cannot judge at all, it means that, I mean, sorry, if you are being too judgmental, then you end up in making some of the mistakes that, or I mean, this particular mistake that I'm trying to share with you. you know so if as a human being, it's okay to be judgmental. It is okay, to say, what, these are my values, and this person that I'm meeting, I mean, do we have common values? But you need to look beyond just that, right? That is where the regret comes in, and that is the bitter lesson that I had to learn. Because sometimes you may meet people who don't necessarily think like you, and who don't necessarily have the same belief as you, and who don't necessarily like the same things as you do, but they may have a lot to offer. All right. And I'm not trying to say, what, you should go about trying to use people, or trying to figure out what you can get out of people, even though you might not want to be with these people or engage with them in any kind. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that we should always look beyond our values, all right? We should look beyond who we are, all right? We often try to associate ourselves with people that are, if not 100%, but almost like us. And if you really want to grow in this life, you cannot grow by constantly associating yourself with people who think just like you know, because it is actually diversity, and it is actually the differences of individuals, all right, that, uh, I mean, that makes the world function beautifully. Because if all the fruits were just um, apples, I think it would be boring, right? If all the fruits were just oranges, it would be boring. So there will be apples, there will be oranges, there will be bananas, there will be everything, you know. But of course, maybe you are the type that when you eat apples, you feel very good. And maybe when you eat bananas, you don't feel so good. Now, which means that if somebody offers you bananas, you're automatically going to not like it. And that is very normal, because if you should take the banana, it is most likely going to maybe hurt your stomach or something, you know. But there are some circumstances whereby, instead of just rejecting the banana, you may try to, to lower your standards a bit, and say, no, let me just have a bite. But at least, just bite and don't eat anymore. But by doing so, you tend to what? To comfort the person in front of you, you tend to reassure this person that, you know what, it is like a game of manipulation, to be honest with you, because it's like people often say never settle for less, right? So we use this to, nourish our ego. And then anytime we meet people, we just feel like, you know what, it is either my way or the highway. But the problem is that, like I was saying, maybe banana is not good for you, but if you choose to just have a small bite of the banana, at least that can help you what, initiate some form of conversation with this particular person that is offering you the banana. And through that, you'll get to discover maybe that this particular person probably has a lot of apples, but was offering you the banana because he or she actually thought that maybe you would like the bananas, you know. So it is like a game of manipulation, but more especially, it is just a reminder that we should be more accepting, right, and open, right, and be tolerant to some extent, right. That doesn't mean we should just accept anything. That's not what I'm saying. But we should sometimes lower our guards just a little bit so that uh, we will get to know people, before we start actually profiling them. Because sometimes you can meet very amazing people, right? Maybe you've met somebody that is a very amazing person, but this person probably doesn't. Person probably smokes. And maybe I personally don't smoke. So maybe if I meet a lady um, who smokes, at that point, I wish I had met a lady probably who doesn't smoke, right? So that it'll just be like a perfect match, you know. But unfortunately, probably that girl smokes. But you have to look beyond the fact that she's smoking. Maybe she's smoking, but she's somebody that is working on stopping. She's somebody that maybe with your assistance, she could what? She could stop smoking. And she's somebody that, and just if you even forget about the smoking, she's probably somebody that has very, very good character. She's probably somebody that is very feminine, very respectful, very nurturing, you know, a potential mother for your kids. Which means that, and sometimes what you should also understand is that everybody has some weakness. There's no man that is just strong and bold in all aspects. We're all weak in different ways. So instead of um, just profiling this person, if you lower your guards a bit and then try to, indulge in a discussion with this person, all right, in all sincerity, you may end up, being able to even motivate and encourage this person to become what, eh, the better version of themselves that you wish they were. You see, so this was just my message, and please let me know in the comment section what you really think about what I'm saying. Am I making sense? And have you ever been in situations where you felt like you actually missed a lot of opportunities simply because you never gave people a chance, all right? I'm not saying we should go about giving second chances. That's not what I'm saying. And of course, sometimes it's okay to give a second chance. We all make mistakes, you know. And but what I'm trying to say is that we should um we should always really reflect, all right? Really always listen to your inner voice, but more especially always take the time to reflect on situations, you know. I know, of course, if you just meet somebody and the fellow is probably smoking or the fellow is drinking and you don't drink or smoke, you might automatically just despise this person, or but I'm saying we should just take a stop, right? Be more open and allow some time, all right, you know, to get to know people really before you start profiling them just a little bit, right? But always still listen to your intuition. They always say first impression doesn't lie. So if really based on your observations and by listening to your intuition, you come to a conclusion that, you know what, this might be a danger zone. This person probably might not be a good person to be around or anything, then believe you me, that might be the case. So they always say prevention is better than cure. So it's just a matter of balance, right? I'm not saying just expose yourself to any kind of person or any kind of situation just because you want to be an opportunist. No, but let's learn to be tolerant, and let's learn to to understand people. So when you make an effort to accommodate people, at the very least, and try to understand them, you know, and probably somewhere along the process, you realize that they don't, I mean, these are not people that you could ever work with. Then at that point, you could then make your conclusions, but never make your conclusions too early, because you might end up what regretting it. All right, this was my message, and I hope you got it. Please let me know in the comment section what you think, and please remember to subscribe and like the video. If you don't like the video, feel free to let me know in the comment section why you don't like the video. All right, see you in the next one.